Hi everyone, I'm Sophia Haber-Brock. Today I'm joined by Christian O'Rourke, Senior Finance and Business Analytics double major, Startup Club founder and Executive Director of Fairfield Founders. I'm also joined by Dr. Chris Huntley, Associate Professor of Analytics and Director of Fairfield StartUp. Thank you so much for joining me today. Christian, as co-founder of the Fairfield StartUp Club, can you talk about some of the ways that the club supports current and aspiring student entrepreneurs?
Our mission is to engage early entrepreneur interest across campus and helping them answer those burning questions about entrepreneurship. There needed to be some sort of preamble before the startup program. Students need to build their confidence to go and prepare them before they go into the program. And it's almost like the D1 team versus the club team. The D1 team is waking up at 6 a.m. They have daily practices. They have study hours. Where the club team, they still get the exposure to the world of entrepreneurship. They get to go to business model workshops, listen to speakers, have other opportunities to be able to network and prepare those entrepreneurial skills.
You are exposing to these students, largely freshmen and sophomores who aren't quite ready to do the competition, to the whole of the entrepreneurship ecosystem right here in Connecticut. So you have brought in investors to talk to them about how investing works. You've brought in alumni that have founded companies about what it's like to go raise money to be on the other side of the table from the investors.
So our mission is that while it is a feeder into the program, and we hope that the students will pursue the program, it builds those soft skills. They'll be able to transition into anything moving into the rest of your career.
And I feel like that translates perfectly into Fairfield Founders. Why do you want to continue to develop this past graduation and beyond?
Yeah, the idea of Fairfield Founders is now to extend support beyond the program, where we're providing a launch pad into the next stage. They're in the concept stage, but they need to get to an accelerator, launching, or maybe getting investors. But in order to do that, they need the support. And what Fairfield Founders is doing is we're engaging alumni and community resources to turn ideas into real businesses. And how we do that is through our 5 pillars of support. We're helping them with market viability, networking, helping them find team members, business advisory resources, as well as investor readiness. And now we're introducing them to alumni that are lawyers to help them get their IP patent or figuring out their capital structure, or introducing them to alumni that are in venture capital who can help them figure out what the investors' expectations are going to be for an angel investor or a venture capital firm, making sure that you're checking all those boxes. Or maybe someone who's in banking to help them figure out what's the valuation of your company, what equity are you going to be giving away to these investors.
Dr. Huntley, can you introduce yourself and talk about your role in Fairfield Startup?
Yes, I've been a professor at Fairfield U since 1997. So over the years, I found that students that had unusual projects that did not fit into what they wanted to do in the classroom gravitated to me. They kept coming year after year. The dean had this idea he was going to start an entrepreneurship program, and by about 3 months later, I found myself as co-director of the program. And over the next couple of years, I transitioned to being full-time director of the program. We transitioned from a pitch competition, business plan competition in a dining room to now a stage show, reality TV, done in an event center. It's very different. The team changes around me. I do whatever is necessary.
So I know some former team members like Mariana and Jamie are going to participate in the showcase. By returning as mentors, panelists, sponsors, and hosts, how do they contribute to the program's growth and value?
So this was our evil plan in the very beginning. You aren't a good entrepreneur unless you have a world domination plan. So here was ours. We figured that we would invest in the students. They would go out and succeed. And then at some point, they would come back. They're what I call the prodigal alums. So this year, the host is Mariana Antaya. She was on stage in 2022 and leveraged all the things she had learned into a wonderful career as a product manager at Microsoft. Jamie is Mariana, but 2013. So she came to us as a senior, working with a couple engineers. She was the business person, and they pitched a great idea. Now, she went off, she did a whole career, and now has come back as one of our panelists. This is amazing. And when we run events, I look at the mentors that are out there. I realize that about a third of them are program alums.
Now, can we talk about the Silicon Valley Immersion Trip? What made this trip stand out among all other entrepreneurial experiences, and can you talk about its impact on students?
This year we went to visit $7.3 trillion worth of company. So we met with C-level execs at companies with a market cap of $7.3 trillion, and they're all the ones that you would expect. We even fit in a basketball game, a boat ride, and a music festival while we were there. We were only there 6 days. Everybody was pretty exhausted by the time.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, how are you feeling after that?
Yeah, we're meeting with people at Uber, NVIDIA, Google, Apple, and we're sitting across the table from an executive who's making the decisions and strategies for a global company, for a tech company that you read about in the news, and you're able to sit across them and actually ask them questions, and you meet people out there and they say, I've never heard anything like this. What school is doing this out there? And that's Fairfield University. It's the startup program.
This year's show was dedicated to Bob Dorff. So he was this world-famous entrepreneurship coach who would come to campus to talk to our students. And he would hold these mentoring sessions. We called it being Dorfed. And he would ask these impossibly hard questions that would just blow your mind. And you're like, who thinks of that? But he did. So I learned a lot of what I know about teaching students about entrepreneurship from Bob. Business plan competition that we ran the first few years was popular, but it wasn't particularly fun. So we went through a full Bob Dorff style session where I was the student. He said, focus not on the business plan, don't talk about the academic side, make it focused on the students and their little companies. That's when we became Startup.
Thank you, Christian and Chris, for your time. I'm Sophia Haber-Brock. Thank you for joining us.